Welcome. I am Crimey Queen, and if you're joining us for the first time, it's the channel where we have fun with words and numbers. And this is also the place where we are uncovering and unpacking revelations in Genesis of chapter 1 and 2, but we have been concentrating predominantly on 1. Now, so much so that we got to verse 5 or 6, or perhaps even 7, but we have gone back to chapter 1 or verse 3. So it's like when it was said, and God said, "Let there be light," the first miracle. The reason why I am doing these videos is that I believe that we have been taught a story that served us only to a certain point, and now it no longer serves us, or the us as well, which I have covered here. And this is, wow, I'm with goosebumps now. This is the us that we need to be paying attention to. And this is the eighth us here. So now this all derived from Genesis of chapter 1, where there are 8 let let the, meaning that would be what has been consistent there in all of this is the word let, which equals 10, and that is balance, that is perfect, that is heaven, it is hell, it is man, it is um so many words that equals 10. It's also darkness. Okay, so we have let. Now this was all said from the God said. Now, if you've not seen my previous videos on this subject, is that I am really speaking of the God said, which is Eve. Eve is the God said. Mother Eve is the God who was orchestrating, saying, "Let there be," or "let the waters," because she is the one who's familiar with the makeup of the womb. She knows when the water breaks. She knows when the child is kicking. She knows all of those things. She knows when it is time to say, well, buy a crib, or let's get a blanket because it's going to come out soon. So this is the thing Mother Eve was saying. But what's interesting here is that there are 8 lets, and the last one, which was the last 8, meaning the 8th one, is where it is said us, meaning us equals 4. And this is where it said, "Let us make." Now make, if I am right, also equals 5. Let's see. I may be wrong on this one, but let's see. This is 5, 2, 1, 5, 4. Now, already what I am seeing here in this word make, it's also the word, the letters MA, which is where we get that from. Or we could say ma. Okay, so this is 7 and 5 is 12. So basically, make is 3. Okay, so there's where 3 actually we could say derive from, but then we see when we add 4 plus 3, that gives us 7. So we see where 7 had also come from on meaning like Christ, for instance. The word Christ is also 5, and Jesus is 2. So that's 7, just for example. But we know also when we do the numerical value for the word 1, for 1 as a word, it equals 7. I hope I have remembered well. No, it equals 11. 11. Okay, that's 10 and no, 10 and 6 is 16. So 16 is 7. So this is where when we hear of 1, we are talking about 7. Just like one creation, which was done in 7 days. Okay. Now, one of the things that I really want to concentrate on in this particular presentation is the word let. Now, the word let, in fact, I also want to explore the word said because that is the title. This is Mother Eve speaking here. This is Mother Eve, really, as I said, and this is what happened just to explore. We will get with the number 8, but just to explore Mother Eve as the God said, God equals 8, but the God said. So there we see with 8. 8 is actually consistent in how many entries it has and also with the word God because the word God equals 8. Okay, now, I'm not, let's just get, okay, I wanted to explore the God said. Yes, oh, this is it. So exploring the God said, and this is what I found. I was looking at this. And it's like I could see a deep sadness. That was a couple days ago, although I've got this for quite a while now. But there is a deep sadness here in Mother Eve's eyes. It's like the expression almost, it's not expressionless, there's a deep sadness. And I felt that there was a message through that sadness, really wanting to be conveyed. And what came out of this, which coincides perfectly with her name as said, the God said, she is the God said. Let's get my hair sorted. Okay, so the God said, there's the word or name. We know we call her Eve. And it's no wonder because Eve is evening. Eve is the dark or the evening. This is where Eve comes from, or where Eve is evening throughout the day, light and day. Okay. So we have Eve. Let's have Eve here, which equals 5, 4, 5, which equals 14, and 1 plus 4 equals 5. Okay. Now the God said, SAID, this is the God, and God is 8. Let's do this so you get a, so this is God. God is 764. God is 764. This is 10, and 7 is 17. 17. Now, I found something very astonishing as well. That when I looked on, there's a site I use. I think it's called Art. Well, it's a concordance, uh, concordance site that I use on this for the Bible on um, on Google on the internet, and there are actually 17 entries of the Old Testament for the word said, which I found it's like the message in it as well is like saying there are two sets of God in the God set, or God set is actually displaying twice, or whatever. I'm not quite sure yet, but I just found it very eye catching. Okay, so we have said. And what I saw the last time I did this presentation, I'm just looking at the timer, I saw that the word AIDS, because I thought, okay, Mother said, so she's the one who's talking and saying, let there be light, let there be a firmament, let the waters divide the waters. And she's going on, she's talking. And we can see that by nature, we tend to go on. If a workman comes to do something in your home, you're going to be telling him what to do, how to do his job. Of course, because you know what you want. It's not so much how that he knows how to do his job, but you know the end product, how it should be. So there we are. So, and I saw the word aid. And then I remembered that it was said it was not good for the man to be alone, that I will make let us make man, or we will make him a helpmate. And that was the thing that caught my eye in the word aid. And so I intuitively put the S here, and I was shocked to really come across, well, really come to the realization of AIDS. And I felt in my spirit there and then that that disease was really a deliberate, a deliberate creation, if you like, a deliberate imposition on mankind through the word said. It's like it's like trying to shut up Mother Eve. That's what, or give Mother Eve something else, something negative to talk about. And right now we need to be mindful what we are talking about, what we are promoting, because as long as we are going to be occupied in the pain for others' gain, we will have lost the plot altogether. We are supervisors, we are orchestrators, we are the ones architects, we are the builders, we are the ones who say what stone should be where it is, not only what chair comes in. We are the ones who say that. We say we may not actually do, but we are the ones who say that. And there it is that it is said, in the beginning was the Word. In the beginning was the Word. This is the Word. Word is 6, if I remember correctly. This is 9, 4. So this is 10, 19, 24. 2 plus 4 equals 6. And basically, we see that looking at the word said, let's see, is it on said? Said, I believe, is 6. Let's just do said again. S-A-I-D. This is 4911. So 10, 14, 15. So 15, 1 plus 5 is 6. So basically, we have, of course, the Word. In the beginning was the Word. The Word was Eve, the chatty one, the one who won't keep quiet, the one who will know, okay, right now you have made that man, created that man, because it's another God actually is doing the creating of that God. And then she says, well, it's not good for the man to be alone. We shall make him a companion, or have him have a female. She's the one now. Now she has recruited all these gods. She becomes Lord God because of the word let. This is what we know as in business, is as if she has permitted she permits the other gods, because she's saying let. She's letting. She's that businesswoman who lets out her house. She lets out her house. She lets out her properties. She lets out. She is all there is. So it is so important, particularly as female who have lost their power or sense of self-worth, to really realize who we are. We need to be able to cultivate that seed of inner strength, that seed of all knowing, like in the Matrix, the Oracle, or just really cultivate, start beginning to realizing who we are. So she's letting, and this is actually in her, although I believe all these um uh, all the gods that she had led to, but this time here on the 8th, this is why I'm also saying I really believe, and not just believe, I'm scripturally from this, we are the 8th cycle of the Genesis that have come from wherever we came from. In fact, I saw something about the Pleiades and Orion today in was it Job? In Job, the story of Job, which is the job that we have to unpack who we are. That's all what the story of Job was about, to understand who he is, his inner self, to unpack the old learning and find that inner being, that inner essence of who he really is. And so, in that story as well, is where the God is asking him, well, do you know who opened the gates of the waters and all those things? Where were you? Where were you when the gates were open? To some extent, it's like saying, think about it. It's not saying you wasn't there. It is there are questions. Now, oftentimes people are reading those things. It's like saying, well, you weren't there. No, the questions are posed to get us thinking, well, where was I? So this is the question that I have been asking myself, where was I? It's as if I'm catapulting my spirit to as far as it can go, day by day, because I'm wanting to remember, because there is something about remembering that is very powerful. We no longer want to walk in having this amnesia and not I'm just thinking, yeah, amnesia. I was thinking, have I mistaken it with insomnia? All right. Yeah, but we need to remember. We need to remember. So in the beginning, sorry, I'm really, I'm getting so excited here. In the beginning was the Word. So the Word is 6, and the Word was said. And the Word was said. What else can say something? It's the Word that speaks. And the Word said is actually Mother Eve. Right here on this template, which was devised before all this have come about. So here we see, this is why it is said, when you are in Christ, you are a new creature. You understand you are both male and female here, because you are balanced here. This is the 6 here, and this is 5 right there. Now the 5 in itself, as I said before, has a depiction of both male and female in it. It highlights Mother Eve's character, if you like, of being able to reach out on either ends of wherever we may be. She's in the middle. She is solid. She is the one with stretched arms. She's like arms saying, stretch arms saying, come, come. And that's what we need to be hearing. We need to understand now, as female, we need to know who we are is to also know our mothers, particularly. And we go through those stages where we become critical, we become self-righteous, whatever it is, but get to know where you come from. Get to know, because we are evolving all the time. But if you do not know where you are, well, how do you know what are you evolving from? Okay, so I am hoping that you have got the gist of Mother Eve as the said God. The said God, and God said is Mother Eve, and God said is Mother Eve 8 times, which coincides with the number 8, and of course in Genesis of chapter 1 verse 17, which coincide in direct correlation with the word God. So just to give you a quick illustration, so we have seen how God said and Eve. So this is where we had the 5 and we have the 6, which I have just pointed out, and the word. And the word was Eve. The word was Eve, and dwell among us. She still dwells among us. Okay. So we have God, which is 7, 6, 4. We see this 10, and this is 7 is 17 equals 8. And when it is said in the scriptures of Genesis chapter 1 verse 17, and God set, there is another thing, God set. Now, I have not established that God set is Eve. No, I have not established that, but set also equals 8. And I believe it's another God, because these are the different gods there. That's a God set. So this is 7 and 1 is 8. So we see how the God set. In fact, I have a list. Let's see if I can grab this. Okay. And then we have a God that separated is also 8. So I think I know what's going to transpire, because we have 5 eights on the face, meaning the mouth, the tongue, no, the that Eve ate. We may have 4, but when Eve actually ate, became 5. So the nose is 8. Okay, let's look at this. So separated, but separated, I believe, is in the second chapter, but we'll just look at that for separated, which is 5 4 2 1 9 1 7 5 1. Okay, so this is 10, 19, 21, 22, 29, 30, 35. 35 is 8. No, 35, yes. 3 plus 5 equals 8. Okay, so we have 2 8s here. And, well, I have not established another 8 as in the gods. Okay, so I just thought I would try that and see if there was a flow on there. But we have established that with God said is 8, and God is 8, Set is 8, and it was also on verse 17, which is also 8. So we saw verse 17 of Genesis equals 8. Okay, so take off separated, because I think separated is in the second chapter. I believe it is. I may be wrong on this. So basically we have these references right here. All right, so we're on 20, nearly 25 minutes on here. So I'm going to um, continue this because there is so much to unpack. And of course, I still want to explore the meaning on words of the said God. Let's go for the meaning and then we will unpack the word let and the and there. So we'll have a series of those just to really get the foundation of what we are establishing here. Thank you for joining us. I hope you have enjoyed this. I hope you have found this fun. Do like and subscribe and share because this is how we do it. We share to actualize in self-full love. Stay blissful, be whole, and stay ignited. Okay. Okay, be. I'm going to have to say be because when you stay, it's like saying stagnant. So be ignited. Okay, thank you. And spill over with love.